Welcome to Age of Wonders 4, returning with Eldritch Realms, the latest DLC expansion, adding Eldritch Sovereigns, new rulers, alongside tomes of magic, loads of other things, but crucially, also these Umbral dwellings in the Abyss, a new map layer as part of the Eldritch Realms DLC. Thank you to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring this video. I'd highly encourage you to check out Eldritch Realms. Click through my link down below. Let's get on with the show. In order to embrace the Eldritch Realm, the Umbral Abyss, I'm going to play the Precipice today, a challenge realm. 2 out of 5, not too bad. The Umbral Abyss, of course, being the main focus here, that new realm. This case will also have low population and a continents map. Looks good to me. And who will we be playing as today? Well, it's none other than Susan the Seductress, a custom faction that I've created just slightly ahead of time. Susan the Seductress is, of course, one of the new types of rulers of heroes. There are now 4 types to choose from at the start of the game. In this case, the Eldritch Sovereign, using thralls, a new currency to cast powerful spells, as well as costing quite a bit of mana. And I've also picked up Umbral Disciples, which will give us a crucial starting bonus, Umbral Flesh, allowing us to embrace the darkness a little bit more while in gloomy terrain. We have extra morale and extra hit points instead of it, for example, making us unable to heal. So we should be able to embrace what the Eldritch Realms have to offer with Susan the Seductress, the ginormous woman at the helm. Here it is again, once more, in a nice form for the people in the back. This display is probably the better one to showcase it, to be fair. And of course we have a few new, perhaps interesting research options available, including a tier 1 unit, conjured tentacles, some buffs of combat too. I'm going to beeline straight for this entrance, this Umbral Gate, and let's take a look at what juicy things we have to offer here. I'll also probably look to use some thralls fairly early on. We have this, for example, one of our first rituals special to us, this one revealing the closest undiscovered infestation, or ancient wonder. Fairly cheap. Bam, it's found it, down through the underground. Looks like the entrance is fairly close. Could probably set that as a kind of a short-term goal. I'll use this freshly picked up warg basically as a scout to just sort of take a look, see what's around. We don't need it for combat right now, he says, somewhat optimistically. Let's clear out this, make way, like I say, for some expansion, grab the goodies, keeping all of these dudes alive, crucially as well. And it looks like we have our very first level up. We have a special astral wisp ritual, say that 5 times fast, which will let me summon a wisp actually on the map. Alternatively, a couple of other things here as well. We could generate a bit of knowledge at the cost of 4 thrall, which feels just slightly too high for me. But if it's going to be used, best to be used early. So could be a case to be made for getting that sooner rather than later. You know what? I'm going to give it a go, even though it's only 200 knowledge. It is new, and I want to embrace the new as much as I can. Speaking of embracing the new, let's jump down here on turn 2. Step inside of this watchtower. Okay, some goodies to be had. Another way up here, another gate. Lots of gates, actually. Look at this. They're everywhere. Oh my goodness. And as you can see up in the map, this is barely the corner of this. What is a small map, mind you. I love a smaller, cramped, more fast-paced version of Age of Wonders 4, but nonetheless, that is pretty interesting. So many gates, crammed into such a small space. Let's grab the goodies and carry on. Turn 4, things are moving. Alright, let's clear out this den with a hilarious looking little pig dude inside of it. Very good. Anything that I can actually use here? Of course I can't use mounts because I'm ginormous and flying, so unfortunately that one not so good for our main ruler here, Susan, but it could be useful for something else. Maybe we end up disenchanting, I don't know. Oh, and hello. Hello. Let's be friends. Please. Treaties? No. Okay, look, you and me, we'll see how we go. And Karissa the Red is also in the game. Let's try and sweeten her up with our seductress temptations. A gesture of goodwill. She thanks me. Okay. Hey, how about a wizard's bond? Another ritual for me to cast, perhaps the mesmerizing draft ritual, which will use another thrall, or I could enthrall my population, convert one of them effectively, whoops, into 3 thralls. For now, I think we can support the extra draft. We've got some cash, so let's cast that one. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. And then train, unfortunately, some fairly weak units, but let's get him in nonetheless. And Karissa wants to be friends. Hello, Karissa. Let's be friends. I was just talking before about looking for one, and you look like a great one. Interesting down here in the underground too, which I was going to explore, but then stumbled immediately into another Umbral gate. And I can't help but feel that the goodies, the depth and despair that's down here, ay caramba, is probably worth exploring a little more. And interestingly here on turn 9, picking up one of these gates will also give me just a little bit of extra knowledge. I need a forest anyway. Let's get it. Why not? Welcome to turn 12. Our outpost has been founded, and I think we'll just jump straight into spending 200 Imperium, save up a little bit more, crank that into a city. And while I'm going on a city shopping spree, we've got one more. May as well make the most of it. The spot seems as good as any, some distant claims, but hey look, that's not a big deal. Quite close to Valor's End, but that's fine. And then I'll have my basic triangle set up. Not bad, and a little quicker than I usually do, as I tend to drag that chain, as I mentioned. One thing I'm kind of short of here on turn 17 is cash. Massive army, costing me quite a bit of money. I mean, it's not even that massive, to be fair, but the best way to reduce its size, or make money from it, is to use it, right? So let's crack on. I think I can probably clear out a lot of these places without a hero in this kind of weak army. It's perhaps not advisable, though. Keep these units together. Summoning Star, I've really obnoxiously stretched all the way up here just to really grind these guys' gears. Look, we're not in love with one another. A quick update on turn 19. We're expanding out nicely. Astropolis is online, size 2. And this outpost I've expanded a little bit, but I think I'll save up. In fact, as we roll through this very next turn, we'll be able to get that one converted into a city as well. Still a bit short on cash. Wizard Tower, probably a good idea to upgrade my capacity. In fact, a very good idea. But there's also this, the Altar of Marching Gloom, which will spread gloom, start altering the terrain to gloom at one province per turn. And seeing as we're kind of built around that a little bit, I think that's a good idea. I'm going to spread the gloom up by vortex by removing this farm, because we already have multiple farms. Queue that up, and of course, I'll get the Wizard's Tower as soon as I can as well. Time to get my third city online, much to my, who I thought would be my friend, but kind of maybe not so much, allies' dismay, Karissa the Red, who doesn't actually like people with a whole load of land. I would like to pay off this grievance so that we can get back to just kind of being neutral at the very least, though, because as you can see, the other people in the game aren't so keen on me, somehow. Shocking. I know. Let's get constricting focus and upgrade one of our first ones. Unique one from the new tome as well, of course. A chance to cast Constricted on the enemy for a turn. Time to recruit an additional hero, up to, of course, our hero cap of just 2 at the minute. Yeah, let's get a Vicious Killer. Sounds good to me. Goodness. Welcome aboard, Chief. Anything we can give you? Yeah. A little bit of extra defense? Why not? Don't have much else, but we are building up a second army. That looks good to me. Got Karissa kind of on our border here, being a little bit of a pain in the backside, but that's alright. We're also going to need, of course, to make this dude a governor. Get in there. Ooh, this is new. Sign of the Vanguard on turn, I believe, 22, maybe. Half of the stars that make up the fabled Great Sword of the Constellation have disappeared. Shock units have very fast movement in combat. Magic and physical ranged attacks against the unit have minus 20%, and melee attacks deal 20%. Cool. Spooky. Very good. Let's jump back up to the overworld, give you just a quick taste. It's in fact turn 24. Fake news. Goodness gracious. I'm feeling a bit weak, feeling a bit economically vulnerable, also physically vulnerable. Right here. Still training crappy units. Probably a better idea, actually, to get the bones of a solid civilization online and try and just mop up these things as and where they come about. In fact, our new hero is actually fairly well placed to do that. And if I can, I'm going to try and take down this pirate grove. A little bit frustrating that it is, of course, fairly strong. But with both armies over here, yeah, easy. I wake up for fights like this. Oh, we lost our dog. That sucks, but we did get a cool cloak. So every cloud has a silver lining. This one has a little bit of frost resistance and some increased magic damage too. Chuck that on, Susan! And holy moly, Karissa is all of a sudden incredibly hostile. That friendship didn't go well. My plan to have one friend. Oh man. Turns out forward settling all your neighbors, not a great way to get on sort of good terms with them, shall we say. Hey, and as a follow-up to that event from earlier, Sign of the Vanguard, now that it's done, I can choose to pay 218 mana and keep it. I learn Sign of the Vanguard enchantment. Sure, that's a no-brainer. We've got like heaps of mana at the moment. Very easy, of course, to spin through it, but for the time being, we're actually looking pretty good. I'm going to march down this way because I feel that Pendant is going to be a source of trouble, either from Pyre, unfortunately, or Valor's End. It's really rock in a hard place. I bring it on myself, and I do it on purpose. And here it is in the spellbook. We'll map spell Sign of the Vanguard for shock units. Very cool. I think at the minute, though, I'm going to use one of these wonderful rituals, unique to us, of course, as the Eldritch, to sacrifice population. Putting it kindly. Should we do it here? Yeah, why not? The city's sort of infested, and I'm not really focusing on it. In fact, maybe we do divert. Although this army of Karissa is dangerously close and floating around in open territory. It would be a shame if something were to happen to you, but no. Let's move up here quickly, try and clear out Astropolis a little bit more, hopefully, before war finds itself on my doorstep. And Susan has leveled up to get one of her signature skills. Notice they channel certain affinities, get Chaos, Pulse, and Expert Channeling for cheaper costs. Enemy army spells cost 30% less, damage spells, debuff spells. That feels like a pretty good synergy. We could also get Eldritch Truth and Breach or Fleshweaver, which is quite cool, the Fleshweave position. I think I'll go with Mad Caster this time though, kind of lean into that. Might as well cast this Mesmerizing Draft Ritual, another spell, of course, one of our big Eldritch ones. Let's grab it in Summoning Star, the capital, slightly more leveled up, of course, in terms of its buildings. So we have a slightly broader reach. I don't have the cash to make the most of it, but I will next turn, so long as I save my pennies, which I'm going to do, as well as hopefully build a few more mines. There's a gold vein up here, so let's get an extra 15 buckaroos a turn out of that. And I think march down toward Pendant because I see Karissa eyeballing me, and I don't like it one bit. Probably don't have the strength to clear Reaper's Hollow, at least not without taking some fairly significant losses. So I might just ignore that for the time being. Time for a tier 2 tome, and I feel like Tome of Summoning is a really good fit for me. Kind of what I'm trying to do. There's a bit of an underlying theme here, of course, in who I am. Let's get it. It's a no-brainer, I think. Grab that. Some of them, it's like, I'm just filling, just trying to get the affinity, you know, don't care too much about the research. I think in this case, though, I definitely do. We, of course, need to have the infrastructure to actually support it, though. We can't just sort of run ahead and grab stuff. So I have to be a little careful around which spells I choose, but I think it's okay. For doom the bells toll. Oh dear. Some sort of crazy, bedraggled woman is screaming about something very bad that's going to happen. It is, of course, the Eldritch Realms event, one of the Fey Doom, the Fey Doom event, if you will. And we have to choose how to respond. Get a little bit of extra draft. Get some information. It's going to take 7 turns. I think I'll just take the draft, to be honest. Units. Yes, please. Even though I can't ultimately make the most of it without a bank account behind me. Get another mine down up there. Occupado at the moment, but we do have some dudes kind of hanging around doing not an awful lot. So we'll pop back and destroy that. It's 440 strength. Let's send the whole gang, stuff it. And slowly but surely managing to produce some stuff. Our economy is relatively weak, but we've got some strong foundations for a victory here, if I can protect these cities and not fall into the trap of an early war. The Toll of Seasons is what I should appropriately call it. We are awaiting the spreading mists. Mists will sort of appear across the map and just really be a right pain in the backside if you're already engaged in loads of other conflicts, which currently, touch wood, we are not. And stepping out of that brand new map layer, the Umbral Dwelling, Assure. Vow to destroy them. Make a sacrifice to their power and keep a truce. Or do nothing and go to war. I have options for the different currencies, and I just accidentally clicked and sacrificed some population. I was actually going to do the mana one, but you know what? That's alright. Here they are. Kind of like a free city, but in this realm, they are called an Umbral dwelling. A little bit harder. We can't provide them with a Whispering Stone, though we can try and boost their allegiance by making these sacrifices again. Here, for example, I can jump back in, get a little bit of appeal from them, and lose 147 mana. So why not? Eldritch Pact, only 82 turns away. But there they are nonetheless. Very cool to see. Very cool. Turn 43 and the pillage of my lands has gone too far. Finally, Susan's coming back, Susan the Seductress, to do what she does best. Not actually seducing, but instead taking down villages. Because, oh my goodness, look at this. Just a path of ruin from this Pirate's Cove, which I could go and chase down, but I can't help but feel Vortex. Come on, dude. Do your thing. I don't know. We'll leave them there for now. I've kind of got my eye on Karissa, and not in the same way that I did at the start of the game. Now I'm leaning that perhaps aggression is the right path. I don't know. We'll see. Grab a little bit more, a few more spells, build up a slightly stronger base. Cleared out that for now. I'm going to completely ignore it. Let's get my strength over here. I can't help but notice that my strength is actually fairly good. I mean, I could use some extra armies, I could use an additional hero, but we're doing okay. We're first, at least, in terms of the military victory score, whatever that means. And if I want to supercharge this war goal, I could grab the Rite of Astral Summons, throw away 250 Imperium for a one-off army. Sure. Haven't used the other one-off army in the generic tree yet either. What did we get? Holy cow. Alright. I'm kind of eyeing up higher. It's the real 180. Turn 47. I just look around and think, you know, no other cities here. I checked the underground. I mean, I haven't actually explored a lot of it. There's a good likelihood that she might have one down here. Obviously, the Abyss is the Abyss. Hello again, Ashura. I just feel I should probably jump on this opportunity. It's going to cost me, though, in terms of Imperium and development, because of course we are without justification. I could try and pay off some of this, perhaps, in the first instance, but no, I think we'll hold our ground for now. I was thinking about the siege, because we might actually be able to jump on Valor's End really quickly. If all of those dudes are busy, potentially eyeing up my capital, then let's try and just pull the wool over their eyes and quickly run down to Valor's End. It will at the very least force them, hopefully, to turn around. Let's have a look with the little bit of vision that we do have. No, you brave boy. There's no point. There's no point manually controlling that combat. But he is gone and so too is my vision. Looks like the expected outcome might be the most likely. They move forward in an attempt to take Summoning Star. And hopefully, as I move down here, tentatively, we won't reveal a lot. We've revealed ourselves, but outside of that we should be okay. Turn 52, the encroaching units have turned around from Morningstar, which probably means they're making their way back here. But here is just ready for the taking. So let's step in. Okay, seeing as we're kind of in war mode now, let's lean into that Rite of the Last Stand. Some crappy units at the cost of one population in each city. Because I have 3 cities, it's at least a reasonable amount of generation. And quite important, because my opponent has actually decided, you know what? I'm gonna rush down his capital, even though he's taking my other city. Might be the smartest move. Look at that. That's outstanding. Let's attack. And I don't even need to carry it out manually. We will send everybody in. Oh boy. Something really unfortunate must have happened to you. And something incredibly unfortunate is about to happen to you now. Bam. 1 capital down. I'm thinking now this is going to lean more towards a domination victory. In that case, earlier on I was thinking maybe expansion because we got off to a pretty good start. Still strong. But maybe a military victory is in my sights. Also here on turn 57, we're going to jump down to the Umbral Abyss. I want to see how Ashura's doing. 67 turns. Okay. Let's do a sacrifice. Could get rid of some of those thralls that I've been... Yeah, actually, let's do that. That's great. Karissa says, enjoy your victory while it lasts. You will be the next to fall. Well, we shall see about that. I'm going to denounce her. Time for another season. This time it's the Toll of Winter. 1 turn to prepare for the horrors, and I can't do anything else. So just have to, accept that. And hope that they're not right next to me. Oh, sure. Okay, so that has a tick down of about 5 turns. At least it did that time. Might try and work on them as quickly and as often as I can. Interestingly here, I can declare a justified war. The balance has slightly swung in my favor thanks to that politicizing from earlier on. So I'm going to do it. Let's strike while the iron's hot. Susan the Seductress is using her seductive powers, this time on Karissa the Red. Alluring voices as well as the Mistwalkers lay siege to Summoning Star. No, please! Damage 33. Could try my chance at Fey Magic. Or trust my troops. I'm going to try my chances. I'm feeling lucky. Okay, great. 10 turns expected until all population will be lost. This is such a yikes. Are you kidding me? What have we got? What are we dealing with here? 1,022. Okay. The Mistwalkers are going to be a bit of a problem. And fast forward a little bit, plus a forward settle from a not-so-friendly friend. We've got an NPC army up there that I'll deal with in a moment. For now, though, let's get rid of these misty boys. You can see the mist actually coming in onto the map, which is pretty cool. With all of this combined strength, this is not going to be a particularly hard fight. In fact, we basically took no losses at all. Great stuff. Oh, and shoot, an ambush. I shouldn't have moved my units out to attack, and now they're completely caught off guard down here by Pyre. A relatively even fight, but they just took me down. Do I want to manual resolve? Or shall we accept those minor losses and come back and stomp them? I think we'll accept those minor losses and come back and stomp them. Sometimes the path to progress has a couple of bumps along the way. That's okay. Oh boy, and as predicted earlier, Pendant unfortunately under siege. Now, it's from a very weak enemy army though. So weak that we're just going to waltz over here just in the nick of time and quickly take out... Oh, Carissa's Maul the Illuminated. Very good. Anybody in the prison? Captured by me in the crypt. Oh my god. Let's make a lot of money, right? Because I need more heroes. So we'll cash in some of those ones. Starborn Summoner and a beloved one at that, loads of stability, which is also quite useful for me. Let's recruit you. Oh, and Karissa has stumbled into my trap. I'd like to pretend like it was on purpose, so I will. Here's all of my units happily surrounding Reaper's Hollow and also surrounding her. Do we have some movement points? Yes, we do. It's a relatively close battle, actually. But that being said, I've got like an 800-point majority, so I think that's an auto-resolve, auto-win. Thank you very much. And with her completely crushed, obviously the right move now, even though we're a bit weak, is just to stomp in as hard and as fast as we can. And moving into the mid-late game Tomes of Magic, here we have another new one. Tome of Corruption. Very good, of course, for the build that I'm building, and very in tune with the line of the DLC. As you can see, as you would expect, a mixture of different spells, focusing around the Umbral world, more casting points, more mana income with that city structure, as well as a tier 4 mythical summoned unit. A real bad boy powerhouse. I will of course take this tome. It's a no-brainer. Time to march into Pyre, everybody. Turn 68. We're making actually very good progress, to be fair. Try and keep my units as bunched together as much as possible, but I doubt that there is actually anything left. We've got 3 turns until the next season. Some more Mistwalkers coming in this time. Fey Touched, Barbarians. Okay. I need to keep that in the back of my mind. But I'm so close. All of my army is here because I've gone all in. I need to take this capital now. 6 turns. Relatively slow. But that's okay. Let's, of course, queue up a couple of these. Ooh, actually, now might be a good time for +1 siege project slots as well. So let me grab that. Jump back into this siege. Chuck something else on. Yes! Break battlements? Absolutely, we've got the money. Let's do it. Still 4 turns, but that's okay. And the Mistwalkers have yet again laid siege to my capital. Actually Valor's End this time, one of my adopted capitals. During the siege, captivating mist is active. 60% chance expected until all population will be lost. Okay. Do I want to roll the dice again? Yeah, I do. 60% chance? Come on. That's right, we're 2 for 2, baby. Very good. Okay, so I'll need to get back and sort that, but at first, of course, there's Pa to sort. It should be a fairly conclusive fight, though it is relatively close. It may have appeared relatively close anyway. An easy and pretty decisive victory for me there. Let's sweep through. What should we do with you? Hold a parade. No expense spared. Very good. Okay, you're looking pretty weak, but actually she's been dying to pick up these extra units. Let me migrate this city to one of mine. Yes, will push me slightly over my city cap, but that's okay. And now, of course, we need to rush to defend Valor's End. A few units nearby, I should be alright. I'm conscious, of course, in the back of my mind that I am slowly going through depleting all of my dudes in waiting. But that's alright. I think we're okay. We've grabbed a second. In fact, there's actually just one more to go now. Where are you? Blackwall, underground, north of me. Entrance quite far away, actually. Lithium is theirs. Vortex is mine. Looks like that's what it's going to come down to. In preparation for war, I think I'll clear up a couple more. I do also have, for example, the knowledge spell, the dark ritual, of course. Can also produce some rifts as part of my summoning, but I think queuing up some extra units, we do have just the mana capacity to do it, so let me get another Astral Serpent and Mistling online, and then hopefully free up these guys from this terrible siege that they're under as this turn rolls through. We're on turn 76, not too bad. And there should be enough strength here at Valor's End to roll. Notably though, this army is much stronger than it was last time, 1400. Instead of what I think was about 1,000. So I need to be careful. All of my tier 1 dudes being wiped out, but our stronger dudes, our newer ones, our more summoned, they're doing a bit better, and I think that's okay. Those guys are going to run away. I now have a perhaps somewhat short window of time until the next season, and I think that means we make a beeline for the underground to try and capture the last capital before things just get too out of control. A hero wants to join me. And this guy looks like my kind of hero. Welcome in, you astrally adept monster of a man thing. Whatever you are. A new army's being formed here too, which is needed, of course, because this area is just constantly under fire. I think maybe spreading my gloom everywhere wasn't so good for Vortex. I kind of used it aggressively against my best friend. But that's alright. With 5 heroes now in place, as you can see, I've got governors in every city. Things are looking pretty good. The capital is under siege by an army that I actually can't defeat right now. So I was having to quickly pull something together, but I think now is the time. Go all in, move forward. As you can see, scouting out this entrance, it's a clear way, right the way there. As I roll through into turn 80, the Mistwalkers are still in retreat. There's a brutal incursion option. I'm going to take my chances and do absolutely nothing. And in good news, I didn't forget about our friends down south, or I should say actually in the Abyss. And I've been working on them slowly, boosting allegiance. Dwelling now shares, of course, some of its income, acts a lot like one of my normal allies. They'll reinforce me in combat against marauders, special spells, and other bonuses to benefit from gloom as well through their cooperation. And here you get a really good taste of that. Hall of Gloom. 50 Imperium. Umbral Exile, 50 Imperium. Summon an Umbral Juggernaut. I like that. Let's get that. That is cool. How else can we cooperate? Okay, I've grabbed the Exile as well. Umbral Juggernaut. Summoning spell summons the Juggernaut. 60 of our precious mystic subculture ability infused Astral Echoes. That's cheap as. Umbral Exile is a debuff spell. Target unit, 60% chance of being immediately removed from combat. Appearing at a random location in the Umbral Abyss after battle. That's very cool. Love it. Oh, and there are more dudes behind. Dang it. Oh, this army's gonna be in trouble. Okay, crisis averted. They seem to be moving by instead of striking me, which I guess makes sense if they need to get back to their throne city to defend it, which they very clearly do. Let's not put all of our eggs in one basket. I might bring this army back this way. They do also have an outpost here, so they could spring up there. This is obviously pretty dang annoying too. So, we'll deal with this as well. I think it's a good idea at this point, seeing as victory is so close, to shift my focus a little bit. Make sure, even if they're crappy units, I'm just having some units ticking along in the background, training themselves up. I think we're going to need it, just in case, because things can take a turn for the worst very quickly in Age of Wonders 4. We have our pact here. Shall we keep trading? Pick up some, of course, quite unique things that we can trade with here with these umbral dwellings. May as well. Umbral Rift. Yeah. A world spell, create an Umbral Rift on target location with the Umbral Abyss, and another nearby on the surface layer. Cool. A way to bridge through. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, turn 83. Let's trespass through here and just have a quick peek. Hello. The entrance is literally right next to you. Goodness gracious me. That is not ideal for you. Oh boy. I'm sort of jamming up the entrance here. I'm so excited. Okay, get me out of the way. Jump back up to the surface. Let's get these guys through. Block the entrance as well. I think that's a good idea. And then... do I want to declare war now? Am I ready? I feel like we have to strike while the iron's hot. Let's do it. Surprise! Taking your city! Hi. Alright, let's get sabotage support, undermine the walls, and onagers. Because we've got the cash. That will put that on a 6-turn timer. Summoning in some units, including our special Umbral Juggernaut as well, just for good fun. And we'll grab an extra Tome of Magic. This one might not matter quite as much. I might go for the Great Transformation, just to build on one of the slightly weaker affinities. Some reasonable spells, of course, the Soul's Economy as well, to be picked up here too. Pyre looks like it's going to be a bit of a front line here on turn 83. You can see the enemy marching across from Stone Root and probably Lithium. We have this mountain range protecting us in the north where we snuck around. So we should be okay through, I think this is probably the choke point, right? It's literally Pyre. Everything is about Pyre. Don't have any money, but we are summoning as quickly as we possibly can. So that'll do for the time being. These are probably the ones I'm most nervous about. They can't get back to defend his capital, at least not very quickly. They could make a beeline for that, but I doubt that they will. I think instead what's probably going to happen is they're going to funnel around here. So let's keep putting all of our extra cash each turn into some units, at least. Some archer battlements might not be a bad idea either. Queue up a few extra defenses. Do I want to put the Mistling here? Yes, I think I do, just in case. So let me cram that down that way. Check back in on the underground. No extra units here. If I pass through a turn just to make sure, because of course I don't want to turn my back on this. The Mistwalkers are, as you can see, targeting the enemy, not me. I'm going to sacrifice some thralls for supreme vassalage over that noob. And we're looking okay. 4 turns to go. Back in the overground. Yeah. I think I'll keep summoning units up here, just in case. Umbral, what do you look like? Let's take a look, actually. Let's get a close look. You chubby little boy. That is awesome. Shall we promote it? Shall we buy the remaining experience? Yes, let's, because I've literally got 1,500. So let's just promote right the way up. You are a boy not to be messed with. Let's clear some space out of our main army. Get rid of that crappy failing, which actually, now that I think about it, could probably be promoted as well. Why not? I've got so much of this currency to spend. Let's splash it all, promote these units. May as well add a bit of extra strength. I've blown through my resource pool pretty handily, but now we should have some very strong armies. 1,400 points against, actually, kind of 1,800. So there's more work to be done. Turn 86, they've made a turn up there. Naturally, they'd try and run away from me. I think we'll challenge them in an open field. I'm not sure if we have the advantage, but at the very least, if we can take them down or slow them down, we'll be in a good position. Seeing as this army is standing around here doing nothing and I don't know where they ran off to, I think we'll push the aggressive, or at least try and take a little bit of this ground in the overworld, or in the underground, as you can see, rolling through to turn 89. It's time to carry out this siege. I'm going to take my chances and do nothing on that event because I've got bigger fish to fry, baby. Let's jump in. Attack. Should be a fairly safe one, I'd imagine. Yes, absolutely. Over a 700 combat point lead. Lost a couple of units. Losing that big one, kind of unfortunate, but I don't think it's enough to re-roll. We'll grab this. Make them our own. And there we go. The final throne city captured. And that means we just need to find where the ruler went. Where are they hiding? I thought they might have gone to this stack underground. Tried to defend their city, but they didn't. So the hunt begins. Aha! Here we are, turn 90. This must be the ruler. Or just a lot of heroes? Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, we have to march on these guys regardless, right? Doesn't matter where the hero is, really. Though with a slight weakness, I might need to just quickly grab a couple of extra dudes. Thank you, summoning. Their dudes are running away, likely back to try and find somewhere to hide. And that's exactly what I want, right? Because at this point, it's about shepherding them into place and taking them down. So let me do that. Okay, with my troops completely all over lithium, turn 94, here we are. And Stone Root as well, slowly becoming mine. I really just need to find where this dude is hiding. And I'm thinking it must be down underground here somewhere, right? I mean, this doesn't quite look like the place. Look, I'm looking for somebody else, actually. Just, I'll leave you to that. I could also, of course, try and use the Umbral Gates. We could pop out there, have a look-see around, come back. It's probably not a terrible shout, but really the goal here, keep moving. I think I found probably where I need to go. The city of Silver Wall down here, likely the one. And we can get around this mountain pass, though it doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly easy one. And here we are, popped out into the abyss. Oh, I see a wonderful shrine down there, but crucially, a whole load more gates. We can almost get to this one within a turn, and hopefully it'll pop me out somewhere a little bit more useful. It is, of course, a bit random. It won't just be like here, but I don't know, it's a start. Okay, so this one's going to take me up. Stropolis. Maybe this one. It's going to jump me over that way. I'm going to get lost down here. Definitely going to get lost down here. But, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go to that one. Okay. Turn 99 and I've made it. Let me jump in and take a look at what's going on down here. 5 dudes inside of a city. Question is it a dude? Or just a dude? Get the extra unit down next to this guy. He can't quite jump through. It's just a rat. Oh my god. Aha. Also weaving around here on turn 101, I figured out that this leads to here, which leads to here, which leads back to where my dudes are. So, there is actually a pathway to get back to the capital very quickly. And I'm going to take that. I mean, I say very quickly. It's a little tricky, to be fair. Alright, we've been working on Vortex the whole game. It's time to instruct them. Now is the time. Take him down! Oh, look, he's actually doing it too. He's sending in his dudes. Good on him. We can now control them too, so maybe the play is actually to reinforce up this way. Yeah. Summon a cheeky gremlin? Why not? Very good. Yes, look, literally the next turn, turn 104. He's only gone and started a bloody siege. Amazing. And he's going in. an incredibly weak ruler. This one, of course. If there was ever a no-brainer out of all the no-brainers, there it was. We didn't lose a single dude. And with that, everybody, that's a dub. Thank you for joining me today. And again, thanks to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring this video. You can check out Eldritch Realms using my link down below. I'll see you in the next video.